getting yourself worked up for no reason. The dragons are trying to be friends, but competing is in their nature, and it's leading to more and more fights.
Their entire society is built upon this nature and has been for generations, but it's about time ponies got involved and overhauled their civilization to be more like us.
You invited Thorax over to Ponyville on the same day as Ember?
Apparently.
This episode turns the typical Spike episode formula on its head, not by getting rid of his proclivity to make unreasonable decisions, but by making them off-screen. Fun fact, the Friendship Express used to have only one pony per train car. They have since tripled that occupancy to one pony per window because of the threat to their ticket sales. This simple episode about Spike inviting two friends over the same day escalates without explanation into fear of a war between civilizations. This scene between Spike and Thorax lasts for such a long amount of time that it makes you wonder, why is Ember flying in a holding pattern above them to wait it out? Thorax's vent is cut off suddenly because the editor of this episode is tired of hearing him complain.
And it might be affecting my sleeping too. I'm a real tosser and turner.
This pony's levitation magic levitates her magic levitation sparkles. Spike just got done describing dragons as tough and intimidating, but greets Ember with a warm Ponyville welcome, complete with friendly hug all the same. In the span of about a minute, the episode debunks its own plot by not having her declare war on Ponyville for this. These trumpets disappear one shot later.
Really gonna have to get used to these pony names. Lots of lights and shiny things.
Dragon names are a lot more similar than pony names. Smolder, Embertorch, Cinder, Scales, Spike, for example. The difference is that ponies have more syllables, so if you combine all those dragon names, it's actually just two random background ponies.
Part of friendship is saying hi to your friends, right?
Ember is pulling way more weight than Spike when it comes to being a friendship ambassador to the dragons.
Do you have a stomachache?
I have indigestion.
That's two references to digestive problems in a row. That's definitely a self-insert of a rider with a tummy ache. We hear Spike close the door behind him, then see it open.
Why did you bring Ember to the castle of all places?
I don't know.
Spike comes as close as he possibly can to admitting that weird things and bad decisions tend to just happen around him for no reason, as if an all-powerful entity writes him into unrealistic situations of conflict and deceit for the heck of it.
All we have to do is make both Thorax and Ember feel special and keep them apart for a few more hours.
Twilight has to know this is a dumb, nonsensical idea, but she's got a front row seat to a Spike episode and she's not going to waste it. Back in the day, the map was used to summon and send characters off on grand adventures. Now it's paging Spike from 10 feet away to solve a problem right here in Ponyville with a solution obvious to everyone watching.
Glowing spikes.
Nope, just one glowing spike.
You two need to keep Ember and Thorax separate while I get ice cream.
For being known as such smart and powerful leaders, these two sure do fail spectacularly at this very simple task. When did Spike stop glowing? Normally, a character stops glowing once they reach the map and are assigned a mission, but Spike was at the map when this started. Unlike ponies, whose plots conveniently glow, Spike glows because of plot convenience. This OSHA violation claims the life of at least one worker. Bon Bon doesn't have a credit in this episode, and this was probably Ashley Ball, who voices Lyra, meaning Bon Bon's list of different voices continues to grow all these years later. Twilight forgets she has a horn and opens the door the more traditional pony way with her face. This random hug seems unusual for Twilight, but she knows, we know, the episode knows, Ember needs to establish this is unusual for her too. Both Twilight and Starlight are strangely unhelpful and unwilling to explain things to the other two visitors. At least Starlight has the excuse of not explaining because her mouth disappears.
Here's my problem. There's this renegade group of changelings who still feed off of love.
That is indeed a problem. A problem for everyone who would have preferred to see that episode.
This is how we've been doing things for hundreds of years. It's
Fascinating piece of changeling lore is almost lost in the crossfade. The joke is that Ember thinks it's a pony custom to give friends food made into walls, but this muffin was taken, not given to Derpy, and it's certainly not acting in a structural capacity. Derpy is wasted on a nonsensical fan service scene. But also, Derpy! Starlight and Twilight get pretty upset about being mixed up, but that's just because they're ableist and don't have any consideration for dragon colorblindness.
You both like the same place, you both ordered muffins.
It's a good thing Derpy already had her scene in this episode, because if she was the one ordering muffins and receiving these cupcakes, Ponyville would be burned to the ground.
Okay, that had to have done it. Come on, Spikes, glow!
Spike has spines, not spikes. Maybe if he addressed them properly, they would have listened. Thorax immediately resorts to violence without asking questions, because this is very much in line with his established character. No, wait, that's the opposite. Also, he should probably recognize this dragon as the one they made an ice statue of. Friendship is Magic is the best anime. This infinitely imminent clash, traversing the span of just a few steps, proves it. Starlight Sparkle must be pretty disappointed Spike interrupted their show, because if they didn't want this fight to go down, they could have just stopped it with ease. Ember doesn't notice Thorax's transformation or question why the bear disappeared.
I accidentally invited you both over to Ponyville on the same day?
So what?
Episode Self-Sin.
I can say I'm bad at friendship. You can't say it about me.
This is accurate, but this is also hypocritical because she just made the same accurate accusation about Spike moments ago. Ember and Thorax sharing this quiet moment followed by confronting Spike together is the harshest whiplash of the show. Giving us such a nice moment at the tail end of a frustrating Spike episode is definitely a sin, and not just an excuse for a compliment.
You're the leader for a reason.
This earth-shattering statement suggests Thorax became leader for an actual reason, and not because Celestia assumed so on a whim and no pony wanted to question her.
Let it be known that the decision is final. And if that doesn't work, turn into a bear.
That's good advice.
Good advice indeed. After all, historically, all of the best leaders ruled by force. On this day, unicorns became a little bit less special. The idea of magically glowing on a whim used to be a special trick only those with a horn could do, but now even Spike is capable of making himself glow by solving a problem he needlessly created himself.
Glowing spikes! Any pony got a friendship problem here? Any problems to solve?
Maybe now we can talk.
Sure.